Hello, my name is Lee Marchessault and I'm from Workplace Safety Solutions, and I'm here to tell you about the hazards of power lines and working with trees and working with vehicles in the area of power lines. Before I start this demonstration though, I do want to emphasize that this is very important that you don't try this at home. Remember to look up and live. Think about if there was a power line overhead and there was an obstruction on the power line and you went to remove that obstruction. As you approach the obstruction, you'll see that this conductive object conducts electricity right down through the ground. The next thing we want to talk about is what happens if there's a tree in contact with the power line. A lot of people think that trees are wood and don't conduct electricity. However, they do, and we'll show how that happens. I've got a tree, I'm making contact with the power line, and then as I approach his hand, you'll notice that you'll see some burning, and that means electricity is flowing and current is flowing through the person right to ground. If a tree is in contact with the earth and makes contact with the power line, again, you'll see the tree leaf burning, and that burning means current is flowing, and it's a very good conductor and it's very unsafe. So if you're thinking about climbing a tree, think about this: look up and live. Look for those power lines before you start thinking about climbing a tree or making any contact or work with anything within a tree or flying a kite around power lines. All of this is dangerous and must be avoided. The next thing we want to think about is what happens when a car hits a pole and it causes the power line to come down onto the car. This individual is going to use a wooden stick to safely remove the power line from the car. Not a good idea. And you can see what happens to the stick. It's conductive. The other thing we're going to think about is the whole vehicle is energized at that same voltage. You can see that the stick conducts electricity from the car, which is energized by the power line, through the individual, through to the earth, and is therefore a lethal situation. If you happen to be in the vehicle when the power line comes down on the vehicle, stay in the vehicle. Very important. If you have to leave the vehicle because there's an explosion or fire could happen, then be careful how you leave the vehicle. Stand on the running board, jump free of the vehicle, don't touch the vehicle and the ground at the same time, and then shuffle your feet in very short steps, heel to toe steps, away from the vehicle so there's no voltage difference between your feet, which also can be a lethal situation. So be careful and look up and live.